Hey, welcome back to Dr. Tabby Cat. Tonight we're gonna do another shadow work tarot pull. Tonight we'll do an 8-card pull, and it's gonna be on the ego shadow work. And so, of course, as prior, we always pull the astral cards, and then we're gonna do the dark mirror shadow work. Oracles, the angel, fallen angel oracles, the kipper, and the intuitive cards. All right, and then at the end we'll do just a quick reading like we usually do. All right, so let's get started. This is like the 4th time of redoing this tonight, so let's see if I can get it done this time. All right, so number 28, Chiron with heal. All right, and this is all about your karmic relationships, past life karmic relationships. All right, situation can set off touching memories or poke you where it still hurts. Shrapnel can hurt as much coming out as it does going in. Take this opportunity to heal so old places can transform. Allow the pain and troubles of the past to become the wisdom and compassion of the present moment. Okay. Chiron is often referred to as the wounded healer archetype, named after the mythological wise centaur who trained heroes and was accidentally wounded by Hercules with a poisoned arrow. Though he could not completely heal his own pain, he learned so much about medicine that he started a healing temple. This asteroid points to where your own painful experiences give you training and how you can use that understanding to help others. The asteroid Chiron has a 50-year orbit between the traditional visible planets and the more metaphysical transformative realm symbolized by the outer planets. Find purpose in your problems. Hard-earned wisdom is now relevant and needed. You don't have to assign casualty. You may never know why you went through a difficult time, but you can put what you learned from it to good use. Even if you never quite heal in the place of the karmic tenderness, you have the wisdom to pass on what you have metabolized with the information. All right. So if an old pain is triggered, have compassion for yourself. All right, so that is Chiron, number 28, heal. All right, dark mirror. We have number 16, black flower fragrance. All right, black flower fragrance. Then we have a female here holding black flowers up to her chest with fragrances of the roses. And it says, the world is unfair. Fuck off, dear world, fuck you. And it says, if we want to go dark, go black. Don't stop to the evening, but embrace the night. Love is not a white dove, nor it turns people into angels. Love can be ugly, love can be cheap, love can be rotten, but even ugly love has a right to exist. Even cheap love can raise to the sky. Even rotten love has a dignity of eternity. Even a black rose by any other name should still smell as sweet. Even if you are wrong, you still have a right to be angry. Even if you are not perfect, you have a right to be respected. Even if you are stupid, you have a right to be listened to. Even if you are lucky, you have a right to complain. Even if you are rich, you have a right to be sad. If you cannot shine because you are beautiful, then shine even if you are ugly. Shine because you are ugly. Gorgeously black. Ugly as love. worn out as an angel, cheap as a crown, unconquered as a fragrance in the night. So always love your imperfections. Nobody's perfect. There's nothing wrong with being different. And number 16 could be significant. Black could be significant. There's nothing wrong with standing out either, being the black sheep of the family, the crowd, whatever, what have you. You don't have to be a follower. Nobody wants to be a follower. You gotta have your own opinion and be in your own mind. People want leaders, not followers. All right, sacrifice, number 7. All right. Even if I have to break apart, as long as it serves a purpose. I have accepted my duty, and in my release, I found freedom. There is a strong power in sacrifice. Our fears, our hopes, they are all chains to a small world. Our sense of self is a small, petty creature of uncertain resolve, of shaky horizons. With sacrifice, we renounce our sense of self. We accept to be lost. We accept to be shaken and cut and bruised and hurt and burdened and kicked and stricken and despised and gossiped and betrayed and misunderstood and left alone to rot and die. With just words of thanks while the world goes on over our broken dreams. But when we drown our sense of self to sacrifice, we are also a greater person. We're screaming, I exist. I make the difference. We accepted a price to pay, and we used our blood and our tears as currency. This gives us a right to stand tall. I love this card because this, to me, is all about the light workers and the chosen ones, the 144,000, and what we were here to do. Because we have been through so much, and nobody even knows half the things we've been through our lives. All they see is the karma, the good dharma that we get and receive from the healing that we do and the mission work that we do. So yes, once you do your healing work, it feels so good. Like when you look back and you see everything that you have survived and have gone through, that it does make you smile and realize that you're more powerful than you thought. So that's a very good card. All right, now for our fallen angels. We have Tamiel, Angel of the Unseen. Tamiel. Tamiel, Angel of the Unseen, who is blind but holds a dagger. Okay, the 3 words of importance for this card are charity, delusion, and assassination. All right. You may have missed something important. Not the thing you know you forgot, but the thing you forgot that you forgot. The unknown hangs in the corner of the room with a grin cutting across its face, smirking at you as you fail to see it. There's no use in turning to look. Just take a breath and stop to feel it. In the still air, the invisible will become visible again. Only then will it be safe to progress forward. All right, so For those of you that are awakening and coming into your spiritual gifts, it is frightening sometimes, because I can remember when I was 3 years old and I would be scared to go to bed because every night around my bed there would be spirits of dead people surrounding my bed. They would literally wait for me to get into bed and the lights would go off, and then they would be surrounding my bed. I would literally have like 20 of them around my bed, and they would all be talking all at once, and I would just be under the covers with the covers over my head, hiding and sweating profusely, praying and asking why they're there, asking them to go away. I didn't understand why they were there. I didn't realize that I had mediumship. And so if you are going through that, you can pray, and God can block your vision so that you don't see and hear them, if that's what you want. Or you can keep it open and work with them. There is no fear. They don't hurt you. They just want help. Most of them are just locked in on this realm because they don't realize that they've passed away, and they're just stuck in a loop, and they're trying to figure out how to get out. So, and then some of them actually want help because they want their stories told. And so they see that your light is shining and they're attracted to your light. So that's where they go. And that's why they come to you, because they know that your light is shining and that you can help them. So yeah, just do more research on it, meditate, pray, and it'll get easier. It won't be as scary the more you work with it. All right, now we have the builder, Sophlatus, the builder. All right. What we create can define us more than any other choice. You may have a chance to create something new, something that will leave your mark upon the landscape. Allow yourself to be bold enough to let inspiration guide your hand. The results will affect people beyond your reach. All right, so if you feel inspired to start something new or to build something, now's the time to do it. Get creative. Use your chakras. Get going. Get creative. Get inspirational. Get it out there and start it. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks, because who cares? We don't care. We care about ourselves. All right, the next one is Samshiel, Angel of the Eclipse. Samshiel, Angel of the Eclipse. I remember eclipse are all about omens. All right, here we go. Samshiel. Okay, the 3 words that are significant to this are validity, volatility, I don't know why I couldn't say that just now, harvest, and omens. Something powerful is set to disappear soon. The light will still be there, but you won't have access to it for a time. Keeping the faith when the world is cold can be hard, but it's a worthy cause. Trapped in the moment of an eclipse can feel like a place apart from the rest of reality, but it's an illusion. Yeah, during eclipse, It's not a time to start new projects because of the omens. That is a time to get things out of your life. So that's the time to cut things. Just remember that. All right, our next pile, number 43, fifth house, passion. Fifth house, passion, 43. All right, that's a pretty card. Okay. Bring your inner adolescent out to play, but watch that it doesn't get stuck in a self-centered place, swept up in a thrill of creation, and damn the consequences. Let your light shine. Let it be a gift to all the world. Your instructions are to play, create, love, inspire, and be glorious. The fifth house asks you to believe in yourself and put this activated heart into action. Think of what activates the sparkly magic you feel when your artistic muse plays with you. What stirs the first twinkle in your eye of a new relationship, the luminous quality of the beginnings of a love affair? Your inner adolescent sparks your creative process. Be playful, grab a spontaneous moment, and let your imagination wander. This is all about your inner child. The more you allow your inner child to come out and play, the more gratitude you will have, the more abundance you will have in life. Point blank. Now, number 27, fragmentation with our dark mirrors. All right, fragmentation. And the moon up there. Okay, when rage is projected inward, destruction joins confusion and we break. Let's see. Losing sense of self is a crescendo of noise, a descendo of pain, and a prelude to nothingness. If I were to cut off my legs, would I still be me? If I were to carve out my heart, would I still be me? If my flesh would turn to stone, if my lungs were emptied of air, if my dream to fly were to be forced in chains and hung out like an expired balloon, would I still be me? I fought and lost, broken beyond recognition, not by my shallow sight of bystanders who can pity, but who can't understand. I cannot even recognize myself. Though the sobs, though the tears, and when silence finally comes, trust the empty motions and the conventional smiles. Who did this to me? I did, maybe. Maybe not. What is broken can be mended. Not so that it returns whole, but at least until it tells his name anew, my name, and who will do that to me? I will. All right, so basically, like on this picture, the only human part left is the head. The rest is different parts of other things. And so they're asking, because it's fragmented parts of different things, am I still me? And yes, they are still them. It doesn't matter what things change, what flaws you have on you. You may have a scar, you may have an amputee, you may be in a wheelchair. You're still you. It doesn't change who you are or your purpose in life. It's still you. All right, now for the angel cards, we have Rahab, Angel of the Deep. Okay, Rahab, Angel of the Deep. He is underwater with a cane. All right, the 3 words significant for him is isolation, faith, and respect. This card may be a sign that there is something worth holding on to, regardless of the pain it causes. Accepting pain and punishment can be a lonely experience, but that is the true path of the faithful. Take comfort in knowing that it is a well-trodden road, even if you ultimately walk it alone. As long as you have faith, things will always work out for you. You know, we will never have a time when we go 100% without pain or without something that's going on in our lives. So, you just have to learn to work through it. And that's why I said if you do your healing, it gets easier as you go through it. Like at the beginning, it's torturous, but then once you get through it, it gets easier. And then each time something else comes up, it gets easier and easier. And then eventually, like, it literally just rolls off your shoulders. It doesn't even affect you. You just become unfazed by pretty much anything. That's pretty much where I am. I just sit and watch it. I watch everybody around me. Okay, now we have Cliff Off, the Shadowed Scion. Here we go. All right. So the 3 words for this are guilt, pain, and captivity. So pain is our word tonight that keeps coming up. If there is an aspect of ourselves we must not leave unknown, it is shadowed self. Failing to acknowledge our darkest qualities lets them grow unchecked, pushing their roots through the landscape of our lives. The existence of our shallowed qualities cannot be erased, only managed. Treating these tendencies with careful patience gives us the power to weave them back into our identities in controlled ways. Creating space and acknowledgement for our other side contains its chaos, restricting the harm it causes to ourselves and others. So you should never restrict yourselves. Always have a space that is for you, that is a safe space. Always have patience. Patience is definitely a virtue. All right, the next one, our moon pile. Moon number 19, perception. And remember, the moon is illusions as well. It's also the subconscious. And it's also lies. And it's a pretty card. Okay, the moon. Look to feelings rather than logic to move this situation forward. Notice any strange responses to anxiety, touchy personal defenses, nepotism, xenophobia, subjectivity, or insecurity, either in your motivation or in those around you. Tend to the fear that lies underneath these behaviors. You are the one with the ebb and the flow. Watch what sign the moon occupies each day and let the moon teach you about its phases. Align yourself with those tides and make your life easier. Definitely. Remember, the moon controls the circadian rhythm of your heartbeat, your sleep patterns, the ocean waves, your emotions. It's the water signs. So yes, it controls a lot. All right, now we have triumph of lies, number 1, to go with the moon. And that is an emperor, liar. The emperor is a liar. Okay, here we go. Emperor. It says, if something hurts me, I change myself so I can stop it. Not all that glitters is gold. Emptiness is felt when there's nothing under the dress. The triumph of lies is about appearance, and appearance is always so important in the world. Day by day, it seems more important. Can that be a lie too? Yes, it is. We seek to be what the world outside desires, and not necessarily the society at large. Our family, our partners, or friends place judgments on what we should be. In the dress we choose, we carve a mask of expectations, behaviors, and values to live by. It offers stability to ourselves and to our relations, as being honest and true to ourselves can be too tiring, too easy to make us hurt. Unfortunately, the relationship with our mask is not so straightforward as it feels. Inside the mask, envy grows, vanity takes root, lack of self-confidence becomes a habit, and gnaws at us and hurts us from the inside. It feels like it is ourselves, but it's not really authentic. It is just a lie we have made a habit to believe in. When our lies become a gilded cage and our dress becomes a burden, we should remember that we were born naked, which is true. And I say this all the time, you cannot go to your north node not being your authentic self. If you are living by what your family wants you to be, and you're living by what your friends want you to be, you're not living in your authentic self. If you have to ask your friends and family for their opinions on everything, you're not being authentic. You should be able to have your own mind and have your own opinions and not worry about what everybody else thinks about what to wear, what to drink, what to eat, how to dress, who to date, how much money you make, any of that. Who cares? And if you do live like that, then you're fake, you're a phony, you're a fraud, and you have a lot of healing to do. A lot of mother wounds, father wounds, and a lot of abandonment wounds. And all of those need to be healed. All right, now for our fallen angels, we have the prophet Kokobeel. All right, let's see. There are portents and signs that are not to be ignored. The urgency of this reality may be doubted by those around you, but there is a very real possibility that you see something that they do not. Cast your eyes to the future. A message is calling out. The prophet Kokobeel. Always pay attention to the signs and synchronicities. Now we have Sashiel, the angel of coins. A good one for this group with the moon, who lives with a mask on and lives for their friends and family members to tell them what to wear and how to act. And that irritates me because I've never lived like that, so I can't even imagine. All right, the 3 important words for this card is trading, coercion, and borrowing. Now may be a time to be wary in your dealings. It's important to understand who has your interest at heart. It's worth asking yourself if someone in your life may stand to gain from your misfortune. Your power to refuse is always your own. Accept the power with seriousness, and you can stand firm against those who wish to use you as leverage for their own ends. Exactly. People will use you, especially if you're a light worker. They will pretend to like you, and they know the power that you have. They know your fortune that you will be coming into as a light worker. And then they will lie to you and have you go against other light workers and do bad against them and try to steal their fortunes and abundance and change their destinies, knowing that they're doing the same thing to you, but having you do it because they know if you do it, then you're going to get karma for the things you're doing and you're going to lose out on your destiny. So a lot of light workers are at a loss that way because they're not awakened yet, so they're not aware of their life path and their destiny. So, and of course their families don't tell them. All right, 49, the 11th house community. Group mindsets can take you places you don't want to go or allow you to avoid the work of one-on-one intimacy. Think for yourself. Healthy community and strong teams are made up of a wonderful bouquet of unique individuals. Okay, we're getting all the same messages. Yep. All right, number 25, fated to suffer. So apparently somebody out there needs to hear it. You need to think on your own. Be your own mind. Be your own person. Stop worrying about what your friends think. It just irritates me. All right, fated to suffer. Feeling confined into a script, forced by others, and never really fought, heading toward a destination of pain. If you know the future, you forsake your choices, only with no fate. Life is free to unfold into unknown shores. Once upon a time, we believed in fairy tales. They were the voice of common sense, the educational tool which prepared us to duty, danger, and morals. Some things we would never accept if they were told by a single voice. So the world arranges us to hear with 1,000 voices, 1,000,000 voices. It's about what you can do and what you can't do. What you are worth, what you aspire to. It's about what you like, what you want, and what you hold dear. It creates a script which comes as strong to all the voices that believe that script combined. As much that you cannot see another path. As you truly sing Snow White in the card. That's funny, I just heard the song Snow White before I started. In the story, truly the only one that the image can tell. What if the apple is not poisoned? What if the witch is not evil? Is that the same as what you look in your life? Is it truly what you think it is? Are there not any other options? Is the opinions of others honestly better than ours, even if there are many and we are not the only one? Are you fated to suffer? It is not there and no suffering in the world. Again, so apparently somebody does need to hear that. Your brain is there for you to educate yourself and to be educated. The schools won't educate you. You have to educate yourself. We have internet now. Educate yourself. There are a variety of things online to help. Books to read. Self-help books. Build your confidence. And like I said, it all starts with healing. Go through your dark night of the soul. Heal your chakras. Heal your mother, father wounds. Any other wounds that you went through childhood. And then you can think on your own. We have Automoros, Angel of Undoing. The 3 words for this one is summoning, confusion, and craftsman. Now is the time for building, a time for applying chisel to stone and beginning the uncomfortable process of letting inspiration find you. Challenge of work might be obvious, but the alternative is always less desirable. Seek this work out. An uncarved builder or boulder is waiting for you. You'll recognize it as soon as you see it. Chances are you already know the challenge that awaits. Don't delay. To a man, a heavy stone may appear to be an eternal marker, but less so in the eyes of an immortal. To them, everything is but a grain of sand washing into the sea. All right. Hopefully you guys are getting the repeated message tonight. All right, last one. We have 12th house, number 50, introspection. Number 50. All right, 12th house, beautiful card of the chakras, alignment. It can be hard to find a healthy place between feeling subsumed by a group and dwelling in stunted isolation. The 12th house asks you to face your fears. In quiet moments of prayer, meditation, and creative bliss, feel that deep connection to the source and know that you are not alone. Spiritual practice can help you find a healthy midpoint between a disconnected, lonely state and a state of connection to one another, to a cause, or to a divine. Grounding helps you return to your personal path. All right. 26, peaceful among thorns. All right, meditation. The spiritual can't solve the material, but it can transcend it. Coexistence of the material and the spiritual is the human way to enlightenment. We talk too much about spiritual stuff, spiritual that, spiritual this. Not that the spiritual side isn't important, especially in an age when everything seems reduced to a materialistic drive. But aren't we going too much to the other side? I have a money problem, go spiritual. I have a health problem, go spiritual. I have a love problem, think of true love and go spiritual. I want to have sex, go spiritual. If we were truly able to solve problems like this, what is spiritual would have been sold in grocery stores. Sometimes to solve money problems, you need money. And to solve love problems, you need to go fuck. Strange but true. Getting spiritual is not what solves our problems. It is what gives depth to our solutions. It makes them meaningful. It takes us from the small to the wide, from the river to the ocean, but sometimes we are not ready to make it our center, and therefore it's perfectly fine if we do not. Okay. Yes, not everybody's into the spiritual, but it does help to get centered and to meditate or pray, whatever you do, because the less angry you get over things, then it just makes life easier. All right, our last angel card, which is the Angel of Anger. Because if you have let's say you don't have enough money for all the bills, right? What's the point of getting angry and stressing out over not being able to pay that bill? If you're stressing out, you're still not going to be able to pay the bill. So what's the point of stressing out? You're just causing stress and grief upon yourself. If you have faith and you just live your day like nothing's, happening. Now, I'm not saying go out there and spend money when you don't have money to pay the bills. No, because that's going to give you bad karma. But if you just live your day, peace and calm, and you don't fret about anything, then guess what? You pray and you ask the angels, hey, can I have, a miracle tomorrow pop up and, maybe $10 or $50 to cover this bill? That would be great. I'd be so grateful. And guess what? I'll do this. And there would be an exchange. And guess what? You may just run into some money that next day. And it happens all the time. And I can vouch for that because it's happened to me plenty of times. So God is who pays my paychecks. I'm grateful for that. I don't ever say that my works pay my paychecks because they don't. It is definitely God that does it. And that's who I thank each and every day for my paychecks. So, all right, here we go. AF, Angel of Anger. All right, the 3 words for this are compulsion, confusion, and pain. It is easy to see the clear danger that comes with naked anger. Be careful, as avoidance is rarely option. The relentless nature of this persona can only be countered with empathy, which is its weakness. Consider the ways in which your own insecurities might be inadvertently nursing feelings of malice hiding in your shadow. All right, so just like actually physically, like verbally speaking anger into existence, avoidance is on the other end, and it's just as dangerous as verbally speaking anger. Avoidance is probably worse, 10-10 on the clock, because avoidance, you're not only suppressing things, you're keeping it inside, and you're also not letting other people know what's going on either. And that's not good for yourself or them. So it's making everybody angry. All right, so stay away from avoidance. All right, now on to our tarot card. So it's an 8-card spread. We're going to have ego, shadow, comfort, avoidance, projection, rejection, forgiveness, and release. All right, so ego is the first card. Oh no, did he mess up my cards? He did. Ay, ay, ay. I think he did. That was 1, 2. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 'Oh no. Um, okay, there we go. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to read off the questions. So number 1 card is ego. Who is the person that you think of yourself as? What identity are you most interested in preserving? So who is the person that you think of yourself as? What identity are you most interested in preserving? So this is your ego. Who's the person you think of yourself as? So when I didn't look at these yet, so I'm going to turn them over now. So this one came up with, I'm using the Intuitive Kev's Kipper deck. So this came up as Intuitive Kev, number 87. So this is, who is the person that you think of yourself as? So this is, who do you want to preserve yourself as? The ego, Intuitive Kev. All right, number 2, shadow. Who is your shadow? What part of yourself have you rejected? What are you ashamed of or insecure about? Number 2, shadow. That card goes on the bottom of 1. So who is my shadow? And it came up with ancestors, number 84. So my ancestors are my shadow self, which is my mediumship skills. That's my shadow self, which I have rejected over the years. And like I said, I was ashamed of that for a very long time. I did not want anything to do with my mediumship skills. I was scared of it for a very long time, and I did ask for that to be blocked. And for a while, I did forget about it, with a lot of numbing and other things to forget about it. But I had other spiritual gifts that I focused on and had forgotten about that. But I think as I got older, I think as I got older and as my family started passing away more and more, I realized that the mediumship gifts became more needed, because then I wanted to stay in touch with everybody, and that was the only way I could still see and hear from those that I loved. And if I gave up that gift, then I wasn't able to see and hear them anymore. All right. Number 3, comfort. What makes you comfortable? What is it about your attachments that you find so soothing? What makes it difficult to face the shadow? Okay, what makes you so comfortable? What is it about your attachments that you find so soothing? What makes it difficult to face the shadow? Ascension. What makes it comfortable for me was my ascension. As you ascend higher and higher in the spiritual realm and to higher and higher vibrations, like I said, your spiritual gifts change, your vibrations change, your sensations change, and things that you're attached to, you no longer are needed to be attached to. I literally could care less about watching TV. I don't even have cable anymore. I haven't watched, honestly, television in years. Like, I turn the TV on, but we don't have like cable and stuff, so we just play music and stuff like that. But I literally could care less. I don't watch the news. I refuse. I don't watch or listen to anything negative. So, yes, the higher vibration you are, the less attachments you have. All right, the next one. Avoidance, number 4. What are you trying to avoid? What feelings does your shadow bring up in you? What do you fear? And mine came up with number 48, manipulation. Avoidance. I avoid manipulators, which somehow they seem to flock to me from everywhere. But yes, I tried to avoid manipulators, manipulation. I can spot them a mile away as soon as they even open their mouths. I just smile and act like I don't even see it. But yes, that's what I tried to avoid, because that is a demon attachment that is on them. They do need healing, and yes, it is a cycle that they need to break, probably from seeing their parents. All right, now the next one, number 5, projection. How is the rejection of your shadow affecting others? Where in your outer life do you see your shadow? Who is your scapegoat? Okay, number 5, projection. Mine came up with number 95, manifestation. So my shadow side affects, by me rejection of my shadow self and having the bravery to reject, all of the karmic side of the karmic loops and the old situations that I used to go through. Because I've learned all the lessons, I now can just focus on my manifestations because I no longer have any of the lessons that I need to focus on. So I can just manifest and I'm good. So yeah, that's what I have right now. So next, rejection. How is the rejection of your shadow affecting your personal life? What else are you rejecting in order to remain comfortable? What are you giving up? Number 6. The veil. Remember, the veil gets thinner and thinner each year. So more and more people are awakening, no matter if they want to or not. So yeah, they can see through the veil easily. But the only problem with that is they're not prepared. They're not doing the work. They're not doing the healing. And then they're realizing they have these spiritual gifts and they're using them for not so good things, like these devilish cults and organizations and so-called church groups that are doing, hoodoo, voodoo, black magic, sending, death, unalivement, magic to people when they're not even educated enough to know that that comes right back to them, especially if they're sending it to somebody like myself who is way high above the clouds than them, and it doesn't even touch me. Like literally, I'll get a stuffy nose and that's how I know something's coming at me. Like that's literally all I will get. And as you see, she's covering her nose. Like, that's it. We get a runny nose and we're like, oh, somebody must be sending something again. I gotta blow my nose. Which, here in Texas, that's all it's been daily. So, and I literally can't stand Texas. But anyways, yeah, so, with the veil being thin like that and all these people thinking, like, they're God's gift to magic and hoodoo, voodoo, and hexes and curses and tarot and all this other stuff. Like, I have never in my life seen so many like tarot readers and divination videos and shoot, what else? Oh my gosh, just organizations like popping up in every state now for every cult and every, like, I don't know, the Freemasons, the Eastern Stars, the whoever. They're all over the place. They're like in every state now and country. So, and then they pretend in the daytime like they're giving to charities for the babies and they're helping with, cure the blind kids. And then in the background, they're trafficking kids. So make it make sense. But yeah, anyways, back to this. Let's go to number 7. Forgiveness. What does forgiveness and healing look like? How can you soothe yourself? How do you heal your wounds? And the card I got was Chakras 57, which I'm very happy with all the cards that I pulled. So, because it went very good with all these questions. So yes. How does forgiveness and healing look to myself? How do I heal my wounds? Exactly. I heal them with healing my chakras. Because once you heal yourself, pretty much you just do maintenance work, and maintenance work is your chakras. So, I just do the maintenance work on my chakras and then I'm good. All right, the last one, release. Where are you headed if you can find forgiveness? What is your potential once you free yourself? All right, so the cards I got for this, at first I was like, why did I get this? I got all great cards, and then this one I wasn't sure, but then I was like, you know what? Yes, I do got it. So I got two. I got number 34, occupation, and 73, love spells. So it asked me where was I headed. So as you see, the occupation, he's a doctor, and I am a doctor. I'm a PhD, so I'm Dr. Tabby Cat. That's my occupation, and it says love spells, so I can help people get free from these attacks with these stupid love spells like we are just talking about. So yeah, I'm right where I should be. I'm doing what I should be. And, you know, I've known for a long time what I should be doing, you know, since I was younger. So I've been practicing for a long time. And I enjoy it, and that's what counts. So that is that. So take a picture of your cards that you got, or your questions and answers that you got, so you can look over them, and then we will do a quick read. We got our intuitive cards. I'm going to pull here. All right. All right, here we go. All right, give me, how many do we want? Give me 6 cards for the ego. I don't know what that was. Give me 6 cards on the ego and shadow work for this reading that we had. 6 cards for the ego and the shadow work. Give me 6 cards for the ego and the shadow work reading that we had. Let's see what we got. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6. All right. Here we go. Okay, so we have, for the first intuitive card, okay, we're looking through. We're inside a building or a tunnel or some type of place here, looking outward into the greenery. You see there's a pathway. And as we see, we can't really see visibly the entire path as to where it goes, but remember the Fool's Journey. The Fool's Journey states that as long as you start on the path. As long as you start on it, the further you go, the path will appear and it will open up as you go and start on it. And so, as you see with the hills, those are considered obstacles. But the path goes through those. We're not going to be riding on top of the obstacles, the mountains, the hills. We're going to walk around those. So really, there is no obstacles. The path is clear. Look at the sky. There's no like clouds, really. There's no rain. There's nothing in the way that's gonna stop you from going. And there's even wind chimes over here. The wind chimes are still, so there's no wind blowing. And the flowers are staying still as well. And it looks like a winery. Looks like grapes growing here, so a winery. So wine could be significant. Maybe it's in Italy. It actually looks like we're on top of the hill right here going down. All right, so it's all about perspective. So some people would look at this and they would look at all the hills and they would say there's too many obstacles and they wouldn't even start on the journey. So you have to have an open mind and be optimistic because the sky is clear, there's no wind, there's no rain. And the path is going around the obstacles. And it's paved, so you have a safe way. So, and as I said, as you go through your healing journey, you know, it may not start off with paved sidewalks, but as you start to heal, it will be paved and you will get green grass on the dirt and you'll get greenery and flowers and things will start to look better. All right. Oh, I didn't even see this. That was hiding. Okay. Well, that's an omen, but I'll take it. All right. This was underneath. Oh, and this is a cemetery. An old cemetery. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's about 15 stones. And there's a person looking at the tombstones. All right. So somebody's grieving a loss, or maybe it's the remembrance of someone's loss, their anniversary of their death, their deceased loved ones. Or it could be an animal too. You never know. And I always say that death is, you know, there's really never a death. Death is just an illusion. That's just the physical body that is being lost. Your soul lives on forever, so it's not really a sad moment, it's a happy moment. Because the world we live in now, this is not heaven, so. It's a very small cemetery. Like I said, there's only like 12. And again, it's all about how you perceive situations. Which brings us to the next card, which I'm taking this one as our ancestor card, which is passed over loved ones. And our ancestors are the ones who help guide us each and every day. They're the ones who speak to us by sending us signs and symbols from the universe on which paths to take through music, signs, frequencies, synchronicities, movies, people talking, through animals, all of the above. And so if you just look at them as looking like this instead of as a spirit, as like Ghostbusters, then it would be less scary for those of you that are starting out. All right, our next card is a gentleman playing the violin on the outside, surrounded by pigeons. And as he's playing in the sunlight, but he can see his entire shadow self of himself and the pigeons as well. And I like this picture because you and your light self and your shadow self are one. There is no difference of your light self and your shadow self. You are one. It's 111 on the timer. How you act on a daily basis, it shouldn't change no matter if you're in your shadow self or your light self. People will try to make excuses when they're doing drugs or have addictions and say, oh, well, I'm in my shadow self and that's why. No, you're in your karmic self, unhealed self, and that's why. Everyone has a shadow self even after you're healed, and we continue to keep our shadow self. We don't get rid of our shadow self. I, being a shaman, I work with all three worlds, the upper, middle, and lower. So I use my shadow self to go to the lower worlds because you don't use your light self to go to the lower worlds, because the light will attract the deities and beings in the lower worlds, and you don't want that. You want to blend in. So you keep your shadow self and you still are in your shadow self. There is no difference. He's still playing the instrument. It's still the same. It's him. There's no change. So just remember that. And you can't make excuses saying that's why you're an alcoholic or drug addict because of your shadow self. No, that's your unhealed self. Okay, next we have a gentleman playing an instrument, the musical instrument, the ones who play for the king cobra snakes. And these are spiritual people that do this for a living, and they're very good at it, and they rarely get hurt. And the snakes actually have a hypnosis to the music, and you know why? Because it's all about frequencies. When you listen to certain frequencies, the body and the mind reacts to it. That's why we tell you and warn you about listening to low frequency music over and over again, such as a lot of the music played on the radio, which is not good, or on MTV and all that. because they try to hypnotize all the kids and stuff with all this terrible music. So, yes, it's all about frequencies, and frequencies are healing. So, and that's how you do it, with high vibrational frequencies. All right, our last card is a man and a woman, probably a husband and a wife, or at least a couple. They're each holding wine glasses that are empty. They're looking at each other. The gentleman is looking down. His eyes seem to be closed. Her eyes are looking up at him, wide open. And then there's a gentleman in the background in the shadows. So actually, I'm going to say the gentleman in the background is probably her husband, and then this gentleman is someone she's having an affair with. And then on her shoulder, there is a black figure that is sitting there like an entity. So yes, she has an attachment. Jezebel spirits all have attachments. So, and as you see, he's watching them interact. All these Jezebels have attachments. Even the men can have Jezebel spirits attached to them, being a male. The succubus and incubus spirits are attachments. They're demonic attachments, and they need to be taken off. And that's why you have to be cautious of watching pornography, masturbation, who you have sexual relations with, unprotected especially, because you're exchanging fluids, you're actually physically touching another person's physical body, unprotected. So you're taking on whatever spirits they have, and you're connecting a tie with them that lasts forever. So you get attachments that way. And the more attachments you have, the more issues in life you will have. Depression, PTSD, suicidal thoughts. The list goes on. Alcoholism, drug addictions, sexual addictions, pill addictions. It goes on and on. Anger issues, isolation issues. Yeah, it goes on and on. So you definitely have to realize when you have attachments and how to get those attachments off of you. That's why it's important to do the spiritual baths. And the best thing I like to do is I take the black, it's the black tourmaline bath salts with the rose quartz pink bath salts, so that way I'll have the love and the negative energy to get rid of all in one in my bath with the bath salts. And then I'll play the Gregorian chants on my phone very loudly so that the entire household can hear it. And that gets rid of any entities of the dark side that are in the home. It gets rid of all those energies. And I also use my my scrub, my salt scrub for my body. I put that on because it is a salt scrub. And I also put a protection prayer over all of my products, and I also put energy into the products to do its job of what it's supposed to do. So I put that on, and then I also rub my oils on after I get out of the bath or shower. And then while I'm in the shower or the bath and in the water, I say affirmations while I'm in the water for protection and releasing the negative energy that are on me from the day. Especially if I've had a bad day or a rough day at work and I've been around a lot of negative energies or a lot of sick energies, I will do that and it helps, okay? So we'll just do a very quick read because we're already on an hour and 20, which I did not know it was going to take me 4 times to do this video. All right, a quick read of who's in the collective energy this week for love. Who's in the collective's energy this week for love? Who is in the collective's energy this week for love? Oh, I got an itch. Who's in the collective's energy this week for love? Can you show me who's in the collective's energy this week for love? All right, we have number 46, faith. So somebody that has faith is in your energy this week for love. And it looks like they want a love offer or they have a love offer to give. All right, so let's see. Anybody else in the collective's energy this week for love? Who wants love? Anybody else in the collective's energy this week for love? All right, we have intuitive Kev, so somebody that's intuitive. Number 87, so somebody that's intuitive and spiritual, and then somebody who has faith. So more Christian, so more of like the Hierophant, and someone more spiritual. Okay, tell me more about intuitive Kev for this week for the collective's love. Tell me more about intuitive Kev and what they're in the energy of love for the collective. What's intuitive Kev and the collective's energy for love for? Concern, number 33. And the clock on the wall says 11:11. 11:11's twin flame. Concern. So there's a concern at 11:11. Concern in the community with a rich guy, number 13. It's pointing towards money. Over some false documents that were signed. By a mature woman. who signed false documents over in regards to somebody that was a sweetheart. So somebody that's a sweetheart, a mature woman, and a rich guy in a community signed false documents. And now there's health concerned in a family. And now they're being blocked from this healer's pathway and from her manifestations and her achievements, this divine feminine and her gifts of unexpected money, and this Jezebel and this priest is not awakening and not getting what they were expecting from this ice queen or this rising star. And now they're holding animosity. They're not going to get to travel. They're just getting karma. While she gets her soulmate and moves to a new house with her child. While they're having conflict with the karmic femme, divine feminine is unbothered. And her new job behind the veil with protection, doing the work she loves in a new commitment with thoughts, no longer being mentally or emotionally unstable because she ascended into this new relationship with someone she trusts. High priest is no longer with this thief who is now going to the courthouse. For stealing from a boss and placing this false narrative, for stating that the high priestess has lust and was in opposition and doing rituals and was being abusive with their divinity. But she shows self-love. She doesn't have abandonment issues. She has actual money coming in after all these death magics were done on her. And now she is a rich girl because all her chakras are aligned. And she doesn't put up with manipulation, so all that's coming to an end. And there's an ending for all poverty mindset. No more divination can be done on her because she's in her north node. She has real love. She is an earth angel. Everybody's obsessed with her. She is in high honor. There is a message that she is moving on with this divine masculine who is a nice guy. He got rid of all his third-party stitches. Now they're all in bondage with their karmic masculines who have entity attachments. They're all having jealousy and envy, emotional pain, while the divine masculine and feminine have abundance, enjoying their new changes. No more love spells, no more flying monkeys. They're enjoying their twin flame connection. Not worrying about this Ice King who is in his own confusion and illusion, his own evil eye, having legal problems. After doing voodoo, now he's in prison because the ancestors who have transitioned over made sure the star seed has gone from single, sexy, and successful and is enamored And the ancestor of this mature man made sure to put destruction onto these karmic individuals so that they could live a happy life. And that was the entire deck. So yes, that's pretty much it. So pretty much this mature woman and rich guy who signed these false documents in the community on this sweetheart, this divine feminine, will have and face legal issues with all this fraudulent stuff going on with all these cults, because it is all coming to light and there is investigators on it. And also, I remember back when I prophesied it years ago, I remember that the female, she actually signed something on it the wrong way. She either signed the name the wrong way on one part, or she added something on it a different way, and it flagged something in the system. So that's why it's being flagged. And so they will be going to court and to prison. And so all this fraudulent stuff that they're doing with the insurance fraud, what was it? Oh, shoot. It was the life insurance. That one was the life insurance where they're trying to marry off light workers and then unalive them, get the life insurance money. And then they're also doing the car accidents and getting money for those. They're also exchanging cars at car dealerships because they know people that work there, and they also know people on the other side that they have to call for the car insurance. And so they're setting it all up to get new cars. And then they're wrecking them, getting the money for them, exchanging them for new cars, and blah, blah, blah. And the list goes on. I'm not going to say it all tonight. But yes, they're all getting caught this year. And it will be coming out soon. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys learned something from this shadow work with the ego. And like I said, your shadow self and your light self is equal, is the same. There's no difference. So your shadow self honestly just gives you the pep in your step and the boost to go out on stage and do stuff that you usually wouldn't do. All right. Have a great night. Thanks. Bye.